Music, okay. One more time. Your man, it's your boy Dr. Jackson in the house. And to come, I'm in Seattle today at the Langston Film Festival and going through the archive. So let's check it out. All right, let's do it.
So sort of the theme for this particular exhibit was Voices of Discontent. And the idea was to sort of piece together Langston Hughes, his visits to Seattle. He visited 3 times. He visited in 1932, and he spoke at the first AME church down in Capitol Hill, the original one that erupted here in Seattle. And then he visited a few subsequent times. His last time was in 1946 when he spoke at the University of Washington. And so what we wanted to do was sort of draw in the intersection between his visit as well as his journey across the United States and across the globe, as he speaks these poems of discontent, like what it is to be Black in America, what it is to be Black globally, and those sort of voices of discontent that he speaks to, and the voices of discontent that existed here in Seattle, particularly the Central District. So we have just a few different items that sort of speak towards that. This table over here displays a signed book by Langston Hughes. It's inscribed and everything for a lady named Shirley Howard, who happened to get it in New York just by happenstance. One other element that came into play with the exhibit was it's a co-curated exhibit. So it's between myself and another volunteer who donated her time to collect a bunch of simple books and build out a simple collection that we hope will eventually live here sort of permanently, because he wrote in the Chicago Defender a column on a character that he created called Jesse B. Simple, and he wrote that from like the 40s all the way up until 62, I think. And he had put on a play that was inspired by his character called Simply Heavenly. So sort of the way that Jesse B. Simple started out was as this mouthpiece for Langston Hughes. He was someone that was sharing his thoughts and ideas first on the war front, and then his thoughts and ideas on the Black experience. And so amplifying that voice and sort of tying those two elements together with things that happened here in the Central District. So there was a film that was put on by a bunch of students back in 97, I believe, called Terminal 187. And so we're just trying to situate the events and the things that the community here in the Central District has been a part of within this broader language and dialogue of expressing discontent, but also doing something to build something, a sense of community, place, and belonging. It all ties into sort of when this building has been around for a long time. It was originally a Jewish synagogue. We have the domed roof up in the theater, and it was constructed in 1915. And around 68, it was given over by the Jewish community to the city, who then repatriated it, or sort of as a form of reparations after MLK's assassination, gave it over to the Black community out in the Central District. And it has sort of been in the hands of Langston, or some form of Langston, since 1972, so for about 55 years. In 87, there was a massive rehabilitation project that was supposed to go on, and the Department of Parks and Recreation said, well, there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen. The roof needs to be redone, the masonry needs to be reworked. That's going to cost a lot of money. The money that we allotted is not enough to cover all of that. Mm-hmm. And the space doesn't really work the way that you guys want it to work for a theater, so maybe we'll put it up for abandonment. But then this is a community center, a place that has built community and cultivated it. And so the other element that we wanted to weave into this exhibit to tell the story of the people who fought very hard to make sure that it remains here, that it's still here. And it's because of that work that we've been able to put on the film festival for the last 23 years, that we've been able to put on film viewings, and that we've been able to put on like lunch programs and hot meal programs. So it's sort of like the whole way that we've been trying to curate everything.
So I didn't get your name. Who are you?
My name's Maurice. I am contracted to work on the archive for Langston. So
Born and raised in Seattle, or just
no, born and raised in Germany, bounced around. My dad was in the army.
military rat? I got you.
Yep.
So you obviously like Seattle.
I moved up here for school. Yes.
Okay.
For film studies over at the University of Washington.
Oh wow. Okay. Did you finish?
I just finished. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, cool. So you obviously submitted films to the festival.
I have not. I learned about it through the program. I started out as an intern, and then they're like, "Hey, we've got this history stuff that we need to get done." And I'm a pseudo historian on the side. Like,
Okay.
I like my history, so I got swept in, and here I am still working at it.
So what has been the hardest thing to do? I mean, the research. I mean, this is before digitization and such, and so you have all these written paper documents.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do it?
Well, the first thing is I've really gotten my bread and butter through reading newspaper articles. The University of Washington has a bunch of newspaper articles. The stories on Langston are scattered throughout the country. I mean, there's a massive collection in New York at the Schaumburg Library, part of the public library over there. There's another massive collection of his letters and books and personal papers associated with him at Yale, at an archive in Yale. So I think the hardest thing has really been piecing it all together because it's so scattered about, and then trying to situate the Central District, which has an even broader, richer history, and even situate the building's history within that, because that is also very scattered. So
Exactly. So I'm thinking, when you think of like the history of Seattle, I moved here in '98 and worked for Boeing for 20 years. I'm actually from Philadelphia, long story, but I wound up here in Seattle. I love Seattle, but now I live in Tacoma. Got priced out, so yeah. But when I think of Seattle, I think of my postage on Broadway, right? And so it mix a lot. And from there, I think of Tony Benton, because every year Tony Benton has like an exhibit that he puts up in the Columbia City Theater. And he's got original artifacts. And you see him rocking a Black Panther t-shirt. So yeah, the second chapter outside of California was here in Seattle. So a lot of history of Seattle from the Black community. It's beautiful. And I've collected a lot of videos of the festival, special speakers and stuff like that. So I wanted to donate that to you guys. So we just sit down, pick a date, I'll show all my collection of stuff, and we'll do something.
Oh, sounds good.
Cool.
Sounds good.
So how can somebody contact you?
Well, I'm working out here, so I've got the Langston email, so it's maurice@langstonsseattle.org.
Okay, cool.
And we'll get some stories and things pieced together.
Beautiful. All right, great.
Thank you very much.
Okay.